Good morning, everybody. It's Bobby, and I apologize if you can't see my face because the sun is directly overhead, but I hope the lesson comes across just the same. Why do you leave your long putt short? It's a common failing. 9 out of 10 people, probably more than that, if you count everybody above a 5 handicap, probably 99 out of 100, when they err on a long putt, it's short, it's not long. And everybody suffers from the same problem. And let me tell you what that is. This is one of those issues where you've sort of got to attack it indirectly. You want to fix this, but the only way to fix it is to fix this thing over here. And by having set that straight, now that's fixed. And that's what we're going for. So what's the problem? What are we trying to fix? Why do I always leave my long putt short? How are we going to fix it? We're going to fix it by adjusting our ratio of backswing to through swing. And let me tell you what that means. We are all wired the same. This is the way we human beings are wired. We get this for free without even thinking about it. If I take a step from here to there, this foot will reach its maximum acceleration point right at the midway point, just as it passes this other leg. I don't have to think about that. That's just what will happen. And as soon as it passes the leg, it'll start slowing down again, and it'll plant. The midpoint is always the fastest point. If I reach out and grab something, the midpoint between myself, where my hand started and where it's going, will always be where this hand is traveling the fastest. And once it reaches the midpoint, it starts slowing down again. Same on the way back. The putting stroke is exactly the same. Whether you are an expert putter or not, you have that equal acceleration. In other words, wherever the midpoint is going this way, the midpoint is always the fastest point. Now, here's the issue. 9 out of 10 golfers, and particularly 100% of all these people who leave their long putt short, have a much longer follow-through than takeaway. You can't believe how often that is. And some people wear it like a badge of honor. Yeah, of course, I've got to accelerate, I've got to follow through. And so in doing so, they lack symmetry in terms of the putting stroke itself. It's way longer on the through swing. Well, keep in mind that the midpoint, and this happens without you thinking about it, the midpoint of the through swing will always be where you reach maximum speed. And so if I only took it back to here, we'll call this the midpoint, the starting point of the through swing, and I follow through to here, the midpoint was way up here. The ball was struck here back when the club hadn't even started accelerating yet. And so that's why you leave your long putt short, because you hit at a time when the putter hasn't had any opportunity to accelerate. All right, and so the only way to fight this is to learn to take the club back exactly equal parts back as through, and from that you'll always be hitting the ball when the club is traveling at the maximum speed, and then you can expect to get your ball all the way to the hole because you've got a bigger bat. You've got an instrument that's traveling at a faster speed at the time it hits the ball. Now, how do you develop that? Well, I've got 5 tees here. This is the midpoint. One great way to do it is simply, this, by the way, is a grip length. So it is over here too, and that one is, as well as that one, is to simply practice within these tees. Start by taking the club back to this one and through to that one without a ball. Remember, it's the club face. It's not the back of the putter. I'm not taking the back of the putter to that tee. I'm taking the face to it. And then after that, get a sense of what that feels like. Sorry about that. The wind just blew my camera over. All right, that's the woes of shooting by yourself. I need someone to stand there and hold it. You don't know how hard the wind's blowing because I got this windscreen on, but it's coming out here. All right, so I don't remember exactly where I was, but I think what I'm trying to say is that this club needs to go back the same distance it goes through, and the way to train yourself is go from tee to tee. Hit some putts there. Observe the distance that you go. It's going to feel weird in the beginning because you're going to really, if you've been guilty of this, you're going to feel like you really had to slam on the brakes just to get to that first tee and stop in time. But trust me, it can't be a coincidence that every great player does that. 100% of them have symmetry. It's not, you've got principles, preferences, and absolutes. This is an absolute. It's not a preference. This is the way you have to do it if you're going to be consistent. And to not do this, it's kind of like someone saying, oh, I'd like to make new friends, but I don't want to be nice to anybody. It's just not going to work. If you want to be a better putter, then you have to adopt symmetry because it can't be a coincidence that every great player does it. So tee to tee, these 2 short ones, longer. As I want to build up, I go from this tee to this tee. The whole point is always having something when you're practicing to keep you symmetrical on the way back from the face, not the back of the putter, but the face, all the way through to that one. Pretty soon, within a short amount of time, you'll adopt that and you won't have to think about it at all. And when that happens, you'll notice that you start rolling those long putts up close to the hole. I want to thank you all for watching. Symmetry in your putting stroke is the name of the game today, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week.